what sort of preparation did you and Lisa do during the pregnancy to get prepared?
Well, we ordered some DVDs and watched some videos, and my wife wanted to have a water birth.
Mm-hmm.
So we ordered DVDs on the subject, and so we went to see a few professionals in the field and asking questions, and no, it really helps. You have to get ready. It's a marathon, as I said, and that's the most important thing to do, is to be aware of things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as we all know, there's nothing more challenging for a woman than going through a pregnancy and then the birth itself and then recovery. So did you guys look at anything like hypnobirthing, or did you look at any other things around that, or was it mainly the water births that you focused on?
It's mainly on the water birth we focused on, and nothing about hypnobirthing, but I'm pretty sure it can be pretty interesting to do that sort of thing.
And as a man within the actual birthing process, if you like, what sort of things did you find? What's a piece of advice you'd give to another dad during the birth?
We say just not to panic. Just help around. Just give a lot of massage. That sort of thing is very positive for the wife. Massaging the wife in the back after every contraction, just because it's just it's like an earthquake. It's just like coming every 3 minutes, and it's just like up and down, and just keep yourself focused onto the massage, and yeah, because your wife is going to be on a different planet at that time. So yeah, that's the best way to do it.
I think different planet is a good way of summing it up. And what about when you came home after the birth and stuff, or what would you give advice around sort of boys, what they can do to help support your partner, so to speak?
I would say get your cooking book ready and just cook some good healthy food to your wife. Nutrition is so important because breastfeeding is quite a big deal. You need to really focus on the nutrition part. Yeah, I would say.
What sort of things did you cook for Lisa or prepare for Lisa?
You need to do a lot of living food with full of enzyme, full of good vitamins. This is what we tried to do as much as we could.
So what sort of foods? Give me an example of a meal, for example.
We a lot of good salads with a lot of sprouts, right. Things like that. It's kind of crazy, but it works. It works, and all this natural energy you get on this food is good. It's good.
So what you're saying is about the live food, it has energy in it, because in the West we tend to think of food as just vitamins and minerals, but what people don't appreciate is that energy has food has an energy to it.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about is the sort of
living
energetic
food,
side.
energetic food, and you add up to your conventional food. You don't need to do only energy food, which can be quite dramatic for some people, but just in a salad you have to mix it up with good energetic food.
Mm-hmm.
What did we do after? We did a lot of juicing and things like that, and it's good.
Brilliant. Excellent. And as a dad, how did you find the whole sort of breastfeeding experience, so to speak? Because obviously we're not an active part of it, and yet we're a supporting role. So what was your views on breastfeeding, and what's your views now?
My views were quite, I had no idea, because being French, in France they don't really look at the breastfeeding thing. They mostly use bottle feeding, the bottle feed baby. Mm-hmm. And I decided to read a little bit about the subject, and I came across some fascinating information, and it's all about being relaxed, actually. It's all about being relaxed and all about nurturing and being not having any stress behind to be able to breastfeed. That's the most important information you need to know. Yeah, exactly.
And the physiology behind that, the workings of the body, is that if, for example, a woman is stressed, it starts to shut down the breast supply, because if you think of an animal in the wild feeding a youngster and a predator arrives, you're not going to continue to breastfeed. You have to get up and run and take the youngster with you. So that's just a brilliant piece of advice. And it's not just with the breastfeeding, is it? The birth itself, the pregnancy. If you can try and minimize the stress levels, if you like, whether it's funny movies or happy people around you, being calm yourself so that you're a good example to the wife. So, brilliant piece of advice.
I would say just contact the La Lèche League. These people are pro about breastfeeding, and they really give great advice. I contacted them for my brother, and nothing worked for him. And she said to me, "Oh, it's going to work. Even 3 months after the birth, you can still breastfeed." And I was like, "Oh my Lord, it's not possible." And she said, "Yes, it's possible, even after 3 months." And she even told me, that's crazy, because a woman adopted 2 children, and she was not even the mother, and she was able to breastfeed after she adopted them. So where did that come from? Or does it work?
Yeah.
So it's possible.
And these are, what you're talking about is lactation nurses, so to speak. So
really?
They used to call them a wet nurse. And basically women can start to breastfeed if the stimulation's there in their body to actually start to produce milk. So in the days gone by, they would have wet nurses that would take over from the mother and actually do the breastfeeding for them.
No,
so that is possible.
It is.
Yeah. So as a dad now, Louis, how old is he?
15 months.
15 months. And how long do you think it took for you to sort of bond with him and really start to engage? Because I was just mentioning to another dad that for me it probably took 6 months until he was sort of more engaging with me, because as a boy we're sort of on the outside to a large degree, aren't we? We're not as focused because we don't feel the baby inside of us. The birth is all to do with the mum, so to speak. How long did it sort of take you? Because everyone's different, obviously.
Just to come out of the water, it took me a year just to be able to get back my brain and just to get back in track. Yeah, I would say 8 to 12 months to really realize that he's there. You need to be around, because the mom was with him most of the time for the first 6 months. So you're not really involved at the beginning because the baby is always with the mom. So. But you're around to help, so that's the most focus on what you can do around it.
Around supporting the mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because as a dad, I know some dads have their noses put out of joint because they don't feel like they're part of it. Because we love to do things as boys, don't we? But as a boy, you just got to stand back and go, okay, this is not my time, And I've said to my wife, listen, that's fine. You got the first 5 years, then he's all mine. We're down the tennis club, we're down the footy club, we'll be doing our thing. But I think in these early phases, it's definitely more mum, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more mum for definitely the first 6 months, and some people might breastfeed a bit longer, but yeah, it's still mum. But after, you have to get on with it, and after it's just. To get the routine going, it takes a good month or 2, but it's quite easy. You just know your timing and just go with the flow.
Brilliant.
This is what you have to do.
Yeah, and I know that how many days a week do you spend with Louis?
So now I'm part-time. I'm working part-time, and I will spend 3 days a week with my son.
Wow, that's brilliant.
So it's a lot of playing around and.
And do you manage to get any work done in between that, or
no?
It's quite difficult, isn't it?
It is difficult.
Yeah.
But the great thing about it, having a child, is you learn so many new things and new information, and you just put away all your old life for a new one. This is the way I see it.
Yeah. It's a whole new phase, isn't it? And you do have to give up
something,
the rest and realise that this is now a new stage that you're going into.
But people should be in charge, and should everything they do, I think they should document themselves, read books, ask advice. They should do that sort of thing.
There's so much craziness surrounding me. There's so much going on. It gets hard to breathe when all my faith has gone. You bring it back to me. You make it